This is Triskell PPM Factory homepage. The description of this homepage will be done in the video for the team members. As a project manager, I have access to different modules: portfolio, projects, project request, department, because at the same time I'm also a resource manager. Let's have a look to my project list. This is a view of all my projects. I can arrange views the way I want, choosing which data to display or not, how to order the column, how to group the information, how to sort the information. This is very flexible and very customizable. Every user can create his own views and have several views to access the same set of data. Like for instance here, a view to look at the project scoring. Let's go back to the default view. I can look at my project in different representation, like for instance a Kanban. Here the Kanban is representing my project by status. I can change the status just by drag and drop if I'm allowed to. I can also decide to represent them in another way, for instance, using the project health. I also do have dashboards views, and a very interesting representation, which is the master plan view. The master plan displays all the projects with their timelines. It's also possible to show dependencies between projects, as well project baseline. If needed, it's possible to drill down into project, showing more information, like for instance here the gates. In this view, I can see all my projects with their gates and the actual status of the different gates. The master plan is a real project navigator. Just double-click on any item to display it and get more information about the selected item, like for instance project, gates, and so on. This way you can really navigate into your project with a simple click. Let's have a deeper look into one of the projects. Just by a double-click, I can access the selected project. I can now browse all project information, details, project overview, project score, resource usage, financial information. The sidebar gives me access to all other project-related tools or information. Like any other business object, a project may have a workflow. It's possible to display the workflow and have a clear understanding about the current status. And if you are authorized, you can also change the workflow status. Let's have a look to the resource plan and the budget. You can define in the setup the way you want to break down your resource plan. In my case, this is by resource type. I can have several levels as well. You can also very easily define the way you want to see and to enter your resource plan, by months, by year, by quarter, the way you want. It's also possible to manage different versions of this resource plan. For instance, here I have actuals and planned. The upper part of the screen is an Excel-like view where you can enter and display data. The bottom part is a graphical representation where you can easily compare different versions. I can look at my resource plan not only from a resource workload perspective, but also from a resource cost perspective or a billing perspective. This way, at the same time, I build my budget for labor cost. The project cost budget. You can split your budget into different categories. According to the setup, you can have up to 5 level and sub-levels of budget categories. Here I'm using only one. Like for the resource plan, you can choose the way you want to display and enter your budget, by month, by quarter, by year. And you can also manage several versions. The upper part of the screen, as for the resource plan, is an Excel-like view where you can display and enter data. The bottom part is a graphical view where you can compare, for instance, actuals versus budgeted value. A cumulative curve shows me also very clearly where I'm going with my budget. I cannot track only how much I will spend and invest into a project, but I can also track what are the expected and actual revenue or benefit. Triskell PPM Factory is very strong in resource plan and budgeting. You can make it as complex as you want or as simple, according to your requirement. We also do support review process for budget and resource plan. Now let's have a look to the other tools available to manage project. We will start with the Gantt chart. The Triskell PPM Factory Gantt chart is a pure HTML5 Gantt chart with all expected functionalities like dependencies, multiple baseline, import from and to Microsoft projects. Project managers also need a clear view about the resource usage within a project. Just click on Manage Resource. It opens a view which displays clear information about capacity and assignments for all resources in this project. You can get more information on a particular resource by selecting the resource and opening the bottom panel. You get detailed information about resource assignment, usage, as well as some charts to have a graphical view and information about the resource usage. Resource Manager needs a view of resource usage across all the projects. As a department manager, James can access the department and click on Resource to get a view about all the resources within his department. The system displays a view with all resources part of this department and a clear understanding about capacity and assignment across all project and activity for each resource. Color-coded information show you very easily if resources are under or over allocated. If you want to know more about a particular resource, just select it and open the button pane. You have now access to more information and you know on which projects or other activity the resource is assigned. It's also possible to manage a formal process between project manager and resource manager for resource demand and assignment. You can choose the way you want to display the information, and if you want to track resource by month, by year, by week, the way you want. If you would like to do proper resource capacity tracking, you can group resource by resource type, for instance, and the system will display a consolidated view showing you the capacity and actual assignments for each type. But let's go back to the project to see what other tools are available to manage projects. Like, for instance, the change requests, deliverables. Those ones, like any other object in the system, can be displayed as well in View, Interactive Kanban, and Master Plan. We also do have events, like meeting, kickoff meeting, gates, cost tracking, issue tracking. We will have a deeper look into the issue tracking. This is the list of all issues part of this project. I can open any issue by double-click, and I can browse all information about this issue. I can also look at the workflow status history. I can look the workflow status right now for this issue, and I can update the status if I want. As you can see, in this case, the system allows me to enter a comment to explain why I changed the status. Triskell allows you to design any kind of issue forms and to associate the proper workflow and process for your issue tracking. Triskell PPM Factory proposes also risk management. This is the list of all the risks for the current project. In the view, the staple and the comment icons show me that there are files and comments attached to this particular risk. I can browse the risk, look at the definition, the assessment, the status, as well attached file and attached comments. Files and comments are available on any objects within Triskell PPM Factory. Triskell PPM Factory provides very modern tools to manage projects, like for instance the Scrum boards. Those are visual and very easy to use tools to manage any kind of objects within Triskell PPM Factory, like for instance here, deliverables. With a simple drag and drop, I can change the status of a deliverable. I can reassign a deliverable very easily with a simple drag and drop as well. I can also replan a deliverable. And if there are some unassigned items, I can assign them to the right person just by drag and drop and change the start and end date. This visual and easy to use tool can be used to manage any kind of objects within Triskell PPM Factory, like event, project issue, or risk. This is a very modern way to manage projects. Combining Scrum board with master plan and Kanban view on any objects, Triskell PPM Factory provides to all project managers very innovative and modern tools to manage projects in a very easy way and productive way. Project managers do also have access to project requests. The project request will be covered in the video for Project Portfolio Manager. This ends this video about Triskell PPM Factory for project managers.